Welcome to INS, the International News Service, your source for the most important weird news from across the globe. With news analyst Kevin Harrison, actor, comedian, and musician Mike Wiebe, and professional commentator Brian Camp. INS, the news you need.
No, isn't there like you can actually look it up where like if you're in a room full of
25 people or something,
right? There's a really good chance that there's somebody else in that room that has the same birthday as you.
Yeah.
It's not interesting or shocking or it's just math.
I still run into adults that just it'll be like, well, your birthday is August 26th.
That's my boss's birthday.
My cousin's birthday is on the 29th. That's only 3 days difference.
Whoa, wait, the 29th of August?
No, July.
You were kidding me.
Wow, what are the odds?
This is going to blow your mind.
You were born too?
I also have a birthday in a month.
Oh my God.
No, for real.
We have the same birthday month.
Yes.
Wait, same year?
Why aren't we in each other's wills?
Who's to say you guys aren't in my will? I have a lot of individual specific bequests.
Yes.
Oh, that's exciting. I don't have a will. I should probably do that because I have a lot of collectibles.
Right. You'd hate for those Doctor Strange comics to end up in the wrong hands.
I mean, for real. And the other thing, too, is like I know that my family's going to fight tooth and nail over that if it's not left to somebody.
They need to know what your final wishes are.
Right.
Yeah.
I can just picture the reading of the will with a stack of perfectly framed, perfectly protected, shielded Doctor Strange comics.
They're in slipcases.
Graded,
yeah.
Your family just salivating. Your mom's always been a real. She's wanted the first introduction of Dormammu for a long time.
Ooh, I want that issue where Doctor Strange has a mask. He had a mask for about 20 issues.
Do you have the issue of Doctor Strange where Marvel was sued because Amy Grant's face was on the cover and she was an evangelical and didn't appreciate that?
No, is that real?
Yeah, it was like it's from the early 90s, but
baby.
Yeah. That's all I know.
The Eye of Agamotto.
Was the comic so well drawn that you could look at it and say, "Oh, well, that's Amy Grant"?
Yeah, kind of.
Did they label it as Amy Grant?
I'll show you, but you also have to remember what Amy Grant looked like.
I know exactly. Believe me.
I know what Amy Grant looks like. No, okay, so I've got a comparison.
Okay.
I let's just say, like, I know what Amy Grant looks like, and so do a number of very specific towels.
So here's the cover. It's Doctor Strange 15. You see the face in the background?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Apparently it's taken from this Amy Grant album. And you can see it is the same face.
Is it the same face?
Yeah, it's the same angle, it's the same face, same shadows, same teeth.
Are the teeth the same?
Is that
though?
Morbius on the cover too?
I don't know who that. Some hawk looking guy and some guy with a big frilly neck thing.
Yeah, is that like did he go back in time in this episode? What's going on? What's all on the cover with the Amy Grant?
The mystery of Morgana. The mystery of Morgana blessing. Should it be Morgana's blessing?
Morgana the Kissing Bandit?
Yes.
Maybe it's a misprint cover, making it worth even more.
Wow.
I'm gonna make it my life's mission to get one of those. Are they hard to find?
Probably not. No. I mean, I'm sure you can find them anywhere. They settled out of court. They didn't recall them or anything like that.
Oh. Is there something in the comic that somehow pins the images on the front with a character who is some sort of demonic evil being? Because I could see how that she might not like that.
Mike will have to buy it, read it, and report back to us. And this is if you see here, the Vampiric versus part 2 of 5. So you'll need parts 1 and also 3 to 5. And let us know.
You say vampiric and not vampiric.
Vampiric. It would be vampiric. You're correct. Vampiric.
Or wampiric.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I say it.
Of course. That's how all amulet bearers say it. It's part of the...
Doctor Strange. What was it? Issue
15 from, I think it's 1990.
Now, let's see how... Are you looking at a...
$15. I found one.
Range 15.
On eBay?
Yeah, there's one for $9.
Oh, nice.
Do you get all 5 episodes of that arc?
I would like to get...
Yeah, obviously.
And that was
issues, rather.
That was
so
number
I'll
2.
trade you. That
was 2, yeah.
A Doctor Strange 15 for your Thor 412.
What happens in 4?
I don't know.
I thought maybe it had Kathy Mattea on the cover. Trisha Yearwood, Kathy Mattea, and the Queen herself.
No.
A golden goddess with red flowing hair, that of a phoenix, the same color of her nipples. The lovely Miss Reba McIntyre.
Welcome to the International News Service. We're your hosts. I'm Kevin Harrison, along with...
I'm Brian Camp.
I'm Mike Wiebe, lover of the one true goddess. The only female more chaste to have a baby. She's a goddess. She's both the Virgin Mary and a slut. Reba McIntyre. She's got it all. Ass, tits, and the voice of an angel. And red pubic hair. Reba McIntyre. That's me, Mike Wiebe.
So this week, we have a true crime story and also a nature story. And you guys are going to be excited. Both stories just might have the possibility of leading us to new INS heroes. I'll let you guys decide, though. As always, I nominate, but you guys decide.
Wang, we nominate. You decide.
Wang.
Hey, Mike, in the 1980s, what kind of computer did you have?
Texas Instruments, TI.
Supposed to say Wang.
Oh, was there a Wang?
Yeah, there was a Wang computers. It was like an IBM compatible, and like I guess they were kind of powerful, so like nerdy computer guys would get them, and then have to go like, oh, well, I have a Wang. And at 14, sometimes I would hear this and just like go into my. I'd just be like, I don't want to laugh out loud, so I don't get in trouble, but it's also hysterical.
Well, I always liked that there was a thing called IBM. It was like bowel movement. I take a shit.
And
then there was also ITT. Like I piss.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay.
I shit, I piss, the computers.
I love this.
iPhone, iPad, I shit, I piss.
Wow.
I don't even know what.
IBM. Just someone just forcefully declaring.
IBM. IBM. So I stayed at this hotel and over the weekend, and they had a refrigerator. It was like an old retro refrigerator.
William the Refrigerator Perry?
I wish he was there. God damn it, dude. I'd have fucking drank some brewskis with him if he was there. I mean, we would have gotten fucking drunk. Probably gotten laid too. Not with each other, but like, we'd go meet some chicks at the local
Well, didn't you say your wife was there?
The Buffalo Wild Wings. She'd be down. I get a hall pass if I'm hanging out with the fridge.
Oh, yeah, well, that's fair.
If I'm hanging out with anyone who took part in the Super Bowl Shuffle, I think I get a hall pass. But this retro fridge, it looked like a 1960s, 1950s rounded edges, real cool. Probably more for fashion than function, but. In metal, like as if it was on a car, it had the name of the refrigerator on it, and the name of the refrigerator is just, and I'm not making this up, it's like all green, up front, and then in silver letters, giant, it just says Smeg. And I can't wrap my head around that there wasn't one guy in one meeting at the company that didn't raise his hand and just go, hey guys, here's the thing. I guess no one's heard about this, and it is a little obscure because we're just generally a more cleanly people than we were before. And then if it is a problem, it's not something we talk about.
Michael, for the listener, I think maybe you need to go into a little more detail about what this is in reference to, just so get everybody up to speed.
Oh yeah.
As I understand it, if you have a, let's just call it a traditional European haircut.
Ooh, okay. I do
on your genitalia.
Oh, not there.
You apparently it is known that gentlemen, if you have not gotten just a little bit off the top, if you know what I'm saying, that you can build up a bit of a funk down there.
Oh, okay.
And it's a physical funk.
In the folds, correct? In the folds, the upper folds.
It happens in the folds. I guess I don't.
Okay, so it's not an emotional funk.
Well, I mean, I imagine that it could result in some sort of. I mean, I've never had to deal with it.
Right.
While I'm not Jewish, I share a certain piece of their religious attributes in that.
I see.
As I think many people in America do. I think that's an American thing.
Okay.
But apparently it folds and it makes a discharge-y kind of substance. And the medical term for it is smegma. And I don't know. And, sometimes there's a word that has another word in the title, like assassin has the word ass in it twice.
Oh my God.
Which that does seem like
it's ass in.
Yeah, like I've always thought that there should be an anal porn that would be called ass in.
Right.
Surely there is.
Somebody just screaming and pointing at their own ass, going ass in. Yeah, the smeg thing. I that's something I learned in. I didn't even believe it was real. It was just something I learned in junior high or grade school. Maybe a little bit later in grade school, and thought it was made up, like donkey punch or whatever, like weird sex act. But
like the Hoe House.
He had a lot of details, as I recall. It sounds like
he was very detailed.
Yeah, and it wasn't him. I mean, his dad took him there, so it's not like
he wouldn't lie about that.
He told me I could ask his dad, and I didn't know it. Like he wasn't like a go over to your house kind of friend, so I never got to verify that. But I don't know. Maybe I could reach out on Facebook or something. Name is Robbie Schusler. He smelled bad and had a T-shirt that said "Here comes trouble."
Oh man!
Hey, Robbie, if you're a listener, please write in. We'd love to have you as a guest and have you tell us about the Hoe House.
Yeah,
maybe.
But I do think that at some point there should have been somebody working there that said, "Hey guys, I got a real quick question. If we're completely nailed down in the name department, and sidebar, why are we going with this name exactly?"
Right.
Maybe it's like a European company and they don't call it Smeg over there. They call it, I don't know, like Strudenfluden or something,
It sounds Soviet.
Well, I wonder if Smeg is maybe it was 4 founders' initials. There's Smith, Morrison, Aronson, and
Eagleface,
and Gandalf, and they're
Gryffindor.
And Gryffindor.
I'm pretty sure it's a refrigerator magnate who was just obsessed with dick cheese.
Okay.
Or it might be that. He was looking for a way to keep it. He wanted to collect it his entire life and keep it in a place that it wouldn't dry out.
Refrigeration would keep your dick cheese fresh.
Gross.
Well, yeah, I didn't bring it up.
But you know what? It's a natural part of of being a human.
Yeah.
We celebrate all things human.
Well, there's some things we don't celebrate.
We're humanists.
Murder is human.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's human. I think it's more inhuman.
Man,
Hey, you know what? My question is,
humanity to man.
here's the thing I can't stop thinking about.
Okay.
What's so civil about war anyway?
Right. Did you drop your acoustic guitar off somewhere? Why do I not see you really leaning into your brilliant observations?
Just letting everybody know we're about to have a song.
I got my slap bass. Here, so.
Well, you know who the best bass player of all time is, right?
Well, that's Flea. Obviously that's Flea.
Yeah.
That's right. Duh.
War. It's a bunch of bullshit. I hate going to war. Good God. Don't go to war.
Yeah, that's good.
That's like
Wow.
that. Back in the day, you used to like really express ourselves with funk.
I just want to say before we move on, I want to point out, you don't get this kind of musical expression on your NPR tiny desk concerts.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the real deal here.
Yeah, they probably act all weird when they have talks about smegma.
Mm-hmm. Well, they won't touch it with the 10-foot pole. They're afraid to cover that news.
They won't. In fact, that's how Terry Gross got her name. She saw smegma and goes, "Gross."
So our first story comes to us from the BBC.
Bad Boys Club.
Bad Boys Club.
So this story happened between 2019 and early 2022, but it just became public knowledge about a month ago when it was first reported to police. Anyway, so this first potential INS hero comes to us from Delhi, India, where on May 30th, 2019, he checked into a 5-star hotel called the Roseate House for a one-night stay. However, instead of checking out and paying his bill, the man allegedly ended up leaving only after senior staff discovered he'd never left and never paid his bill 603 nights later. According to the hotel, one of their staff members kept extending the man's stay and then hiding his charges on the bills of other guests. Now the hotel says the man owes it 50 million rupees, or about $61,000. It's not clear how or why a staff member chose to help the man stay in the hotel, or why it took the hotel more than 17 months to report this to police. But honestly, $61,000 for 603 nights comes out to $102 per night. The Roseate House sounds like a really reasonable place to stay, whether you're paying their full rate or staying for free.
You know what? I like this guy.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yep. But we can't. He's not the only hero here. The other hero is the guy the inside guy that's sticking it to the hotel. Really, honestly, that's the hero.
Yeah.
That guy's badass. And the fact is, like, nobody, if anybody owes anybody money, they would need to go and find each individual lodger who got overcharged.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
And each of them because the hotel didn't lose any money.
Right. The hotel was compensated.
Well, I suspect that the hotel is being required to go through an audit and pay those people back because they were, in fact, stolen from.
Yeah,
so
that's probably also true.
I think the issue will be whether or not the hotel was full any of those nights, right? Because if they lost, otherwise they didn't lose any revenue.
Well, I mean, no, I saw some other stories suggesting that he did get room service and things like that.
That's cool too.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
As long as he tipped, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want it for our Indian listeners. I know we have at least 15 out there, last count. I don't want to upset anyone by making this broad assumption about exchange rates and currency and the value of the dollar anywhere in the world. Right. We all know that currencies go up and down, and, just when your country's doing real well, but, the U.S. dollar is still fairly well standard in a lot of places.
Right. I lost $400,000 in crypto.
I feel like $102 US dollars a night in India probably pays for a really nice hotel there. And maybe I'm wrong.
I think it depends, but yeah, this sounded like a reasonable price because there are.
It's the Rosencrantz. Is that the name of it?
The Roseate.
It was the Guildenstern.
Okay. The Roseate?
Yeah.
I'll look it up. How do you spell it?
There's a Roseate.
I used to go to a honky tonk called the Rosie Tat, and it was a big tattoos of roses everywhere.
Of Rosie O'Donnell.
Mm-hmm.
Roseate means rose-colored. Optimistic or idealistic is another definition.
I wonder if Rosie O'Donnell has a tattoo of a rose, maybe on her titty or something like that, or butt cheek.
You're going to need to do an INS investigates on this, Mike.
Well, they probably got a ton of business from this too.
Why do you think they would get? What makes you go, hey, I'm going to the hotel where they rip people up, or they got ripped off, but they're not going to let me rip them off.
You're reading a story, you're interested, you've always wanted to go to India, so you read stories that pop up about India. Maybe you're an INS listener, maybe you get your news from another side. Maybe you read the BBC. There's still some people who do that. Not everybody comes to us for their news.
I know the name of one hotel in India, and it's the Roseate.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And also, all press is good press. There's no such thing as bad press. Look at Jared from Subway. He's probably more famous than he's ever been.
Maybe not anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody knows he's a terrible pedophile, right?
Yeah, I think that's all I know anymore. But
with child porn or actual
I think
act?
both.
Do we know?
I think both.
I think he might have been arranging some like Thailand trips or something like that.
Oh yeah. Well.
But I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I know his wife immediately divorced him.
Like she waited until it was public, though.
I don't know. That I don't know either.
I think she waited until the scandal happened and went, "Oh, I didn't know about that thing that even Subway knew about."
All right,
I don't know. I don't know the details at all. I'm not trying to defend or condemn Mrs. Fogel, former Mrs. Fogel.
I'm looking at the Roseate, and this is a fine upscale hotel. This is a very, very nice place.
Yeah, it looked nice in the pictures for sure.
Yeah. The dining room looks. Yeah, this would be you would not be disappointed if you went to India and stayed at. Now there could be an entire group of thuggy outside the hotel waiting to follow you when you leave. I mean, that's an issue, right?
I bet it is a thuggy-free establishment inside, though.
Well, the concierge will warn you about which doors to exit from.
Just watch their hands. If they start making hand signals,
don't listen. What if one of them's wearing a yellow bandana?
hey, this is unrelated. But you know what I watched with my girlfriend today?
Cruising.
First we watched Cruising, but then we watched Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh, good.
Oh, nice.
That was good.
She had never seen, and I said, "What did you think?" And she goes,
"That's a bummer."
It was okay.
She doesn't like adventure movies.
I was trying to get Brian to blow off work today and go see the new movie with me.
Ooh, yeah.
But we're talking about maybe seeing that tomorrow during fireworks.
The Dial of Destiny.
The Dial of Destiny. I hear it's a movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it's better than the Crystal's Head.
It would have to be. I'm on the fence about the last thing I saw, I got to see Raiders in the theater not that long ago, and I kind of feel like maybe that
it's great at the theater.
No, it was at Alamo.
Yeah, I want to go see it at the Paramount.
Yeah, oh yeah, that'd be great. Real loud, like super loud.
Talk about more Austin landmarks.
Well,
I'd love to go see it at the bridge with all the bats flying around.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. Or at that one place where people get their picture taken.
Yeah, with the "I love you" so much.
Yeah, that's
just
slogan town. This place sucks.
Could you project that can you project Indiana Jones on the "I love you so much" sign in Austin, and then stand so that it was like Harrison Ford was saying it to you the whole movie?
I would like to have somehow the Nazi mechanic who gets torn to pieces by a propeller like as though his blood is spraying all over me in front of him.
Yeah.
And so was that the first time someone got chewed up by a propeller on film?
It can't be. Maybe in a PG movie.
That was PG, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't show you him get completely.
Marion
reacted.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is so they show like Harrison Ford looks at him and is like giving him like a look, like get out of the way, and the guy's like, "What?" And then looks behind him, and then everybody, and then blood splatters on the tail of the Nazi plane with the right over the swastika, and then everybody like looks away in disgust.
I don't think Harrison Ford tries to help him. My recollection is him looking at him and then like all of a sudden ducking down.
Yeah, maybe.
And the guy was like, "What's going on?" It turns around and then that's the sound of your flesh being scraped off by a propeller. And it's a good movie.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
For the listener, there's this movie called Raiders of the Lost Ark that you should watch. It's really good.
You say that
you probably never heard of it.
And while people of our age, it is whether you're into no movies or watch every movie, know that movie really well. There's a lot of young people that have probably never seen that to them it is it's this old relic of old movies. It's Casablanca or something like that.
It is a 42-year-old movie. It's it's just over 42 years old. It came out June 12th, 1981.
God damn, that's crazy. I was only about 199.
Oh yeah.
When I saw that.
And I'm sure that Kevin, I'm sure you have a different opinion because I know that you are a cinephile. You and Michael, you are as well.
Like Jared Fogle.
That's right.
No, that's not the file.
Here's the pen for cinephilia. Seeing that movie as a young man, you think that you're going to see other movies that good your whole life.
Yeah, this is true.
And then like, oh man, they're really, because it almost felt like it was so enjoyable as a kid. You're like, oh, this is what movies are.
Right.
And then you find out throughout your whole life, no, you'll make excuses for a lot of movies for the rest of your life, but not many of them are this good.
Well, it's even worse than that because you'd already fired Star Wars out of the chamber. And then you're following Star Wars, the next shot in the chamber, Raiders of the Lost Ark. You're just like, there is nothing more magical than going to the movies.
Oh, yeah.
And then, what do they follow that up with?
Raiders was after Empire, right? Wasn't Raiders like the year after Empire Strikes Back?
Empire Strikes Back was 1980, almost exactly a year earlier.
Yeah. And it's like it's easy to say, oh, well, those movies just seem really good because you saw them when you were a kid,
right?
But I'm pretty sure that objectively,
it's a really really well made movie.
Yeah,
yeah. Like it'd be like if in like 3 years there were 3 movies as good as Mad Max Fury Road.
Well, and then the next year, 82, you had E.T., you had John Carpenter's The Thing. You had Blade Runner, all of which I saw at the age of 7, obviously.
Yeah. Still never seen The Thing.
Oh, it's great.
I know. I haven't seen it, though.
I should have taken you to the fucking theater when they were showing
it. Surely, that's one they've got to bring back to theaters now and
then. Yeah.
I'll see it in the theater.
Oh, yeah. So our next story also comes to us from the BBC.
The Bad Boys Club strikes again.
Club.
And I've basically never in the entire history of the show done 2 sources or done 1 source for both stories. But it's Heroes Night here.
Right.
And when I can either do a story about a hero or I can do a story about a zero. What do you want?
They didn't cover this in Live Science.
Not this time.
That's George Soros didn't have a lie made up about this, ready to go.
Maybe he did.
That's for the constant listener. You're welcome.
So let's see. Our next potential INS hero, or heroes in this case, comes to us from Cornwall, England. Each year.
Gross.
Well, let's just see what happens, and maybe
wall made out of corn. Ugh, gross.
Wasn't he like a prime minister who got
Cornwallis
or something?
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Cornwallis.
Maybe.
Cornwallis was the bad guy and the Patriot.
So, okay.
I hate you, Cornwallis. My name's Mel Gibson, and I'm trying to sound like I'm an American, sort of.
He was born in the United States. He didn't move to Australia till he was a teenager. His American accent is his real one.
Well, I don't know. He's got a weird... He never had like a not American. He just has like a weird like... He definitely spent time over there enough to develop.
But he always has acted like he's full Australian. It's like, you moved here when you were 15. What, did you suddenly adopt this in 5 years? You just changed
why do you hate Mel Gibson so much?
Well, there's lots of reasons, but I do love The Road Warrior. I do love Mad Max.
What about Apocalypto?
I never saw Apocalypto.
What about the movie about Jesus Christ?
I didn't see that one.
You didn't see Payday?
Not yet.
God damn it. All right.
So, like I said, this next potential INS hero or heroes comes to us from Cornwall, England. Each year, the United Kingdom's National Trust charity holds an all-you-can-pick cherry-picking event over 5 days at an estate in Cornwall. The estate contains 80 cherry trees.
A corn picking event?
They have other plants.
I don't think they grow corn in the UK. I'm pretty sure it's not a good
corn
environment
is pretty
for
much
it.
A North American thing.
Yeah. Maize.
Yeah, they grow maize. They call it maize over there.
Yeah, that's how that works. The estate contains 80 cherry trees that have been blossoming since 2004 and are generally ripest at this time of the year. This year's event was scheduled to kick off on Wednesday, June 28th. Unfortunately, a representative from the National Trust said, quote, "On Monday, we were getting the planning in place and checking that the cherries were ripening. And Wednesday morning, the gardener came to tell me they'd all gone. Apparently, all the cherries on the estate, every last one, had been eaten by a swarm of hungry blackbirds. The National Trust representative said, quote, 80 trees worth of cherries have been feasted on by the very cheeky blackbirds."
Oh, cheeky blackbird. There's nothing I hate more than a cheeky blackbird.
Yep.
Actually, I do. Actually,
are the birds the heroes?
I think.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say too that there's an English porn mag called Cheeky Blackbirds.
Give me an example of the kind of person who would go to a counter and order that.
Yeah. Could you have a copy of just a little bit, just some tea and some marmalade and just some regular items and some toothpaste and while you're in there, just throw in a copy of Cheeky Blackbirds. They try to act like it's accidentally getting in there,
So as a result, the event had to be canceled, but the National Trust announced that they're still planning to hold an apple picking event later this year, unless these same cheeky blackbirds can find a way to ruin that event too.
I hope they do.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make them heroes?
Because in my mind they were trained to do it. Yes.
No, they weren't trained to do it. They did it.
You don't know that. Possibly there's some sort of a villain over there that's like a cool villain who's getting back, and somebody took his land, somebody's land a long time ago, and this guy in a long form of revenge trained a flock of blackbirds to go to specific places, and he just like points at it and goes, "Caw-caw, caw-caw."
What I hear you saying is you're accusing and
that's a good British accent on a bird, by the way. That's pretty good.
What I hear you saying is that you are accusing the Irish of training these blackbirds to have revenge on the English.
If that's so, then hell yeah. Hell yeah. I would masturbate to a copy of Cheeky Blackbirds magazine.
What kind of material do you believe would be in such a magazine?
I mean, I said what the title of it is.
We a lot of British smiles in there.
Yeah. Wait, what's a British smile?
Big.
Yeah.
Toothy.
Oh no,
teeth.
I thought you meant when a girl lays on her side and is buck naked and opens up her legs.
That's what they call the British smile.
That's what they call British smile. And I'd like to go in there, and I'd like to go out in there and inspect your teeth.
So stupid. Everything about this.
Give us a kiss. Love, give us a kiss.
There really should be a part with just Americans just putting on the worst British accents.
You got your head stuck in the drying bin? She has her head stuck in the bin. Oh, get me out of here. Me hair is stuck. You're supposed to be pulling, not pushing. What are you doing back there? Well, the only way for me to get you out of this bin is to take your trousers off. But now I'm getting all worked up and I'm off to take me trousers off too.
This is the second week in a row where Mike has described pornography for us.
Sure, we have blind listeners. They probably appreciate it.
Oh, I'd like to go ahead and have your crumpet.
So I do have a question for you related to the story, Mike, which is, what is the strangest reason you have had a show canceled?
One time I broke a gas line.
I remember that.
In rubber gloves.
So how did that come about?
I was, I was just singing.
Yeah.
I was just singing, and
and the power of your voice broke the pipe.
Well, that and me hanging on the pipe. So they had to evacuate the room, so they had to cancel the show. So,
yeah.
Quickly did they evacuate the room?
Right around at the time people started passing out. No, nobody passed out. Everybody was safe. It was a mistake.
That's good.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But
you still got paid.
No, I believe we did not get paid.
Surely there was a cutoff valve that could be accessed, though, right? To shut the gas off.
Well, that's what I screamed at them. Get your shit together.
That's right. How do you not know where the cutoff valve is?
Yeah.
It's
and it's a
funny.
little strange to have an overhead gas line anyway. I'm assuming it was overhead.
Yeah, I mean, this is 20 years after the fact, but this is really on them.
Yeah, you should really start harboring. If you don't already, you really need to start harboring a grudge over this.
Now that Mike
ruin the show.
Yeah.
Now that Mike says that, I do remember being at a show also at Rubber Gloves where Mike was also hanging from the pipes in the ceiling, and he broke one, and the ceiling fan that it was attached to that was spinning rapidly swung into the audience.
I don't remember that. I really don't remember that. I believe that it happened. I don't remember it, though.
Now, conduit, it makes a lot more sense that conduit would be in the ceiling like that. So,
did people like it, though?
Yeah. Did the
crowd enjoy that?
Yeah, we all laughed, and then they shut off the fan, and then I think you guys didn't get paid because they were like, well, you broke our shit.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the only 2 times that's ever happened. I'm sure.
Probably. Uh-huh. I was a much more enthusiastic younger man.
Still seem fairly enthusiastic.
Yeah. Not about life.
Okay, that's fair. You are getting closer to death.
Not me. No, actually, remind you.
Right. Let's not forget the amulet.
It's really not. That's part of what are the unenthusiasm. Where that's coming from.
Right.
Yeah, it's coming from the fact that I am no longer fear the mortal bounds that you all feel, and everything is, I've fucked everything I want to fuck. I've eaten everything I wanted to eat. Life has become droll and dreary.
Name 3 things you wanted to eat.
Chilled monkey brains.
Okay.
Snake surprise.
Okay.
And just the creamy backs of bugs.
What about eyeball soup?
I didn't want to eat that, but I have eaten it.
Well, I mean, that's
Not out of choice. That wasn't out of choice. That was out of convenience.
Okay.
That was a diet thing.
Right. Obviously, eyeballs very low in calories, as we know.
Starting a new diet. It's called it's the that horse sea biscuit. It's his diet. It's a sea biscuit diet.
You have watched too many.
I see biscuits.
Cartoon.
I see biscuits. I eat them.
How many trees worth of cherries do you think you could eat?
I could eat a lot of cherries. I like cherries a lot.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Really like cherries. Yeah, I don't know. And I could eat a lot of blackbirds too.
Okay.
And I could eat a lot of cheeky blackbirds. Out.
Well,
NSFW. I have no other thoughts on the matter. But
yes.
Oh, I will tell you, and the listeners, this isn't really a plug, but
okay.
I am going to San Diego Comic Book Con.
Right.
Which is short for convention.
Oh, okay.
Maybe there's some sort of INS story. Some man on the street stuff I can do. Bring my microphone. If any listeners want to send ideas, anybody they want me to try and talk to, I'm there. I'm there to see the sites. I'm also doing a Jack Wharton panel in Hall Q, and that'll be on.
It'll be packed.
So is this so big now that and I've never been to a comic book convention in my life. Is this?
Oh, you were too good.
That's really, yeah.
I wasn't allowed to go. No one would take me.
I heard the stank, the superiority you put on that statement.
I would love to go, but
I was too busy attending a football game.
The people that I thought were my friends that were interested in those things never invited me, so I was just kind of left out. It's okay.
Hold on, I do have a comment here.
I was too busy at a pussy getting party.
It is true that I drove down to Austin one day for a little like indie comic book convention. Ben Snakepit was there. And went, and then at the end of the day, after a couple hours of being there, I was like, well, I'm done. And I said to the girl I was dating at the time, hey, you want to go see what Brian and Kristen are doing? And called Brian, and they weren't doing anything, and he was disappointed that I did not invite him to the comic book con.
Missed opportunity for me. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm sure I'll have a lot of more chances to do something like that in my life. So thanks. My question is: is it such a big event now that there is is there still an opportunity for the relatively small or obscure or struggling comic book product to get any space at all, or is this just a big?
I think this is a big
market advertising thing.
It's not even for comics anymore, really.
Yeah, I don't even know if they have comics anymore at this one. I think this is really a giant, South by Southwest kind of thing. That being said, this year might be really different because of the writer's strike.
Right.
Disney. Oh yeah. Disney's completely pulled out, and somebody I guess Lucasfilms is a wing of Disney, but they're pulled out. Like, there's a lot of people. There's not going to be near the same amount of big, Hollywood presence. So we'll see. I'm hoping that will mean that there's more smaller vendors, smaller type, type groups.
I will say this: like when I haven't gone to a Comic Con, we have a lot of them in Dallas Fort Worth. I haven't gone to one in several years, but when I do go, I used to say, okay, I got $300. I can buy whatever I want with that $300. And I used to just get like an old comic that I wanted or something, or, a couple old expensive books. But now I said, no, fuck all that. And when I go to the Artist Alley where the up and comers are, and I get a couple sketches, I buy some indie books. I try to encourage, talent in a field that I really enjoy.
Well, if you go get an issue of Cheeky Blackbirds, they have a little section in there called Up and Comers.
Oh, okay. How do they spell comers?
Well, it's British, so it's COUMMERS.
So that wraps up another week of the International News Service. Find us across social media at International News Pod. Email us at internationalnewspod@gmail.com. Don't forget that you never have to check out of the INS house because it's always open and always free. Check out the INS merch store at Redbubble, and we'll see you next week.
But you can never leave.
Thank you for listening to the International News Service. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. INS, the news you need.